Did you know that Canada is about to introduce some of the most drastic immigration changes in its history? Over 2 million people currently living in the country could be affected. Some may be forced to leave, while others will face new obstacles to securing their place. Work permits are tightening, study visas are shrinking, and refugee admissions are dropping. If you've ever dreamed of moving to Canada or securing your future here, you need to hear this. Not long ago, Canada was welcoming record numbers of immigrants, positioning itself as a land of opportunity with open doors and limitless possibilities. But everything is changing, and not in favor of those hoping to move. The government is rolling out some of the strictest immigration policies in years, and if you don't act fast, you could find yourself locked out. So why is this happening? Is Canada really closing its doors to newcomers? And what does this mean for international students, workers, and families trying to build a life here? Today, we're uncovering the truth behind Canada's shifting immigration policies, the hidden challenges no one is talking about, and what you need to do right now to secure your future. Stay with me until the end, because what we're about to reveal could change everything you thought you knew about moving to Canada. Lower immigration targets in 2025. For years, Canada has been a top destination for immigrants, offering them the chance for a fresh start. But in 2025, that vision is shifting. The Canadian government has made a drastic decision, sending shockwaves through immigrant communities. With rising concerns over housing shortages, overwhelmed healthcare services, and an economy under pressure, policymakers have decided to cut back significantly on the number of newcomers entering the country. The new immigration target for 2025 has been set at 395,000 permanent residents, a sharp drop from previous years. And this is just the beginning. The government has already signaled plans to lower these numbers even further over the next 2 years. But it's not just permanent residents who will be affected. Temporary residents, including international students and foreign workers, will also face new restrictions. In recent years, Canada has seen an unprecedented surge in immigration, with people flocking to the country in hopes of securing a better future. But now, the system is overwhelmed. Housing prices are skyrocketing, rental vacancies are at an all-time low, and public services are struggling to keep up. The government argues that reducing immigration levels will help ease pressure on essential services and provide better support for those already in Canada. But for the millions of immigrants hoping to stay, this shift is bringing fear, anxiety, and uncertainty. The political shift behind these changes at the heart of this issue is a major political shift. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government is facing mounting pressure as public frustration grows over housing shortages, healthcare access, and affordability. In response, the government is shifting its immigration policies, tightening restrictions in an effort to win back voter confidence. Meanwhile, opposition leader Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party are pushing for even stricter immigration policies. Their stance is that Canada's population growth is outpacing its ability to support new arrivals, particularly when it comes to housing, jobs, and healthcare. With an election approaching, immigration has become a major battleground. Depending on who wins, the future of immigration in Canada could take an even sharper turn toward restriction. Will Canada continue to welcome newcomers, or will it shut its doors in the name of stability? That question is at the center of a heated political debate that could change the course of the country's immigration policies for years to come. What this means for temporary residents, international students, foreign workers, and asylum seekers are among the most affected by these new restrictions. Canada is cutting its international student intake by 10%, making it much harder to obtain a study permit. In recent years, international students have been a significant part of the economy, contributing billions of dollars through tuition and living expenses. But a surge in student arrivals has also worsened the housing crisis, driving up rent prices in major cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal. As a result, the government is limiting student visas, which directly impacts those who had planned to study in Canada as a pathway to permanent residency. The bigger concern is for students already in the country who were counting on postgraduate work permits and residency programs to stay. Now, they find themselves caught in a system that is becoming increasingly unpredictable. Temporary foreign workers are also facing new challenges. Work permits are getting harder to obtain, with stricter requirements and tougher eligibility criteria. While Canada has long relied on foreign labor to support industries like agriculture, hospitality, and healthcare, the government is now prioritizing job opportunities for Canadian citizens. That means temporary workers who previously had a clear path to employment may now struggle with longer processing times, increased scrutiny, and even outright rejections. For those already in the country, renewing work permits or transitioning to permanent residency is becoming much more difficult, leaving thousands in limbo about their future. The challenges for refugees and asylum seekers. Canada has long been known as a safe haven for those fleeing war, persecution, and hardship. But in 2025, that reputation is beginning to change. The government has quietly lowered its refugee and protected persons intake, citing pressures on housing, healthcare, and public services. For those hoping to claim asylum in Canada, the road ahead is looking increasingly difficult. This decision comes at a time when global displacement is at an all-time high. Conflicts in the Middle East, Africa, and Eastern Europe have forced millions to flee their homes, with many looking to Canada as their last hope for safety. But as immigration targets shrink, so do the chances for those seeking asylum. Critics argue that these cuts could leave thousands in limbo, stranded in a country that once promised them protection but is now turning them away. Adding to the complexity of the situation is the looming U.S. presidential election. With Donald Trump expected to return to office, his aggressive immigration stance could have serious consequences for Canada. During his previous term, Trump introduced policies that made it nearly impossible for asylum seekers to find refuge in the U.S., leading many to cross into Canada instead. If Trump follows through on mass deportations, Canada could see a surge of asylum seekers at its borders, further straining its already overwhelmed immigration system. What you can do. For those hoping to move to or stay in Canada, time is running out. Immigration policies are shifting rapidly, and opportunities that once seemed guaranteed are now disappearing. If you're already in Canada, staying informed is crucial. The rules are changing fast, and waiting too long to act could mean missing out on opportunities that still exist today. For international students, this means securing study permits early, ensuring financial proof is solid, and choosing schools with strong post-graduation pathways. For skilled workers, exploring provincial nomination programs that prioritize in-demand jobs like healthcare, technology, and skilled trades could improve your chances of staying. Those applying from outside Canada need to consider alternative pathways, such as employer sponsorships or investment visas. For people at risk of having to leave, exploring legal options like visa extensions or alternative status applications could be key to staying in the country legally. Immigration lawyers are advising temporary residents to act quickly before policies tighten even further. The future of immigration in Canada. Canada's immigration system is changing fast, and for many, the window of opportunity is closing. With new restrictions, shrinking targets, and rising uncertainty, those hoping to move to or stay in Canada need to act now. The future remains unclear, but one thing is certain: the rules are getting tougher, and only those who plan ahead will have a chance at staying. So what do you think? Will Canada continue to be a welcoming country, or are we witnessing the beginning of a long-term immigration crackdown? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more updates on major immigration changes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.